Another person who is probably better at it than you, though, is Tyler Wills, who you've obviously played a lot with. And at what point did he come into your sphere?
So right there at the back half of the summer of 2021, he and I started playing a lot together, and that was maybe the last influence to really want to get on the national scale, because that he had so much success in the Kentucky area when he was living in the South, where there was a lot of good grass players, grass triples down there for years. And he had played in the Iowa, Chicago area before then. So when he settled down in Wisconsin, he was like ready to be done. And I'm like, dude, you're like the best player I've seen in Wisconsin ever on the grass, especially if it's windy. Like, there's no one better than you. Like, we have to go after this. Like, what do you mean? So he then got the itch a little bit back because he was welcomed in the friend group. He had success, and he was like, yeah, I can do this. So that's kind of when it started. Tyler and I playing. Our first tournament was actually one you ran, the Battle at the 5-0s, which was really high level. We fit our games meshed right away because of his defensive moves and my block moves. I always felt comfortable that I could block the meat of the court. So I would watch for players that could really float and read along the perimeter. I had success with EJ before that. And like having guys that can kind of float the perimeter, knowing that I could manipulate them. I wouldn't block it, but I could manipulate them to swing in that area, and it would be on the perimeter. And he would just dig everything and convert everything. So that's why I think on court, and especially tactically, like there was just such a perfect fit. And then we played every tournament together for almost 2 years. And I think he had a stretch of winning like 21 of like 27 tournaments before we really kind of locked it down and played mostly on the national scale versus smaller regional tournaments. But his winning ability, his reach, it's so deceptive as a hitter. So like when you talk about the OT swing, for him, he's not flying off the ground, but he's a tall dude, and his
super long arm,
his 7-foot wingspan and perfect form. So everyone's used to seeing a contact point, like they'll line up on his shoulder line or his eyes, and they'll be here, and then his reach just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. So for him, and this is kind of like the way I break down film, because I'm a complete nerd about it, is everyone has like a pocket that they hit from and some get out of jail shot, but for Tyler, his was always just a foot higher than everyone was ready for. So his ball control, his shot selection, and that unique perfection of form combined with his reach and athleticism was like, no one could really stop it, even nationally when they'd seen it for time.
Yeah, I've had, with you and also when he's played with other people, he's always been a very difficult person to compete with because of his just ability to score, no matter what defensive scheme you throw at him. He and his consistency as a serve receiver, as a passer, he's able to handle.
He's not going to give you much.
Tremendous amount of pressure from the serve line.